Hey guys, this episode I wanted to talk about violent tactics. And just like I always say, this is just my experience, and these are the things that I've found that help me make it through life, and hopefully it can help others. And I'll explain what I mean by violent tactics, because you hear violence, you're like, oh, violence, it's scary. I'm not talking specifically about physical violence, right? Violence in this context is anything that changes another thing from a comfortable state, right? So what is it? If you have some silly putty, right, and it's relaxed and you stretch it out, you're changing it to a tense state, and that is, a violent exchange in and of itself. Like, what is it? If you apply heat or pressure to an ice cube, it melts and becomes water. That is a violent change. It changes something that can be comfortable to something that is different. And I'm referring to violent tactics in this instance with regard to how you approach your life financially. And I'm saying this also for myself, because these are things that I need to learn. Didn't get that job that you applied for. You didn't get that grant. Business didn't work. And you get upset, right? Because these things, or maybe there was an entity that said no, or maybe there was a person or a group that said no or was rejecting you. And you have to, I want you and me, is the standard that I'm setting for myself, is that I want it to be a thing to where you think of it as like they are just creating a tactic for themselves, and you're doing the same thing. Violence isn't inherently hateful. It isn't inherently hateful and or fearful. It's more so that nobody likes to be removed from a place of comfort. No one likes to be removed from a place of comfort, and being the prospect of being removed from a place of comfort creates fear. And that fear can then become hatred, right? It's like, okay, well, I'm afraid that I'm going to be moved from a place of comfort. This doesn't always have to be physical. This can be emotional. This can be mental, psychological. But you're moving from a place of comfort, and you're afraid to move from a place of comfort or be moved from a place of comfort. So I find that it's more of a healthier approach to understand it from a violent tactics standpoint, because it allows me, using the mnemonic of violent tactics, what it does, it allows me to separate hate and fear from the tactic, right? The tactic is moving something to another position. It's saying okay, well, I'm going to go this direction. I'm going to move these things out of the way. I'm going to talk to this person. I'm going to interrupt this person. I'm going to interrupt this thing that's already happening, that's already comfortable. I'm going to put myself in a position. And the hard and the tricky thing is generally people, I see myself, but also people that are around me are I don't want to be rude, and I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be rude, and I don't want to be mean. And I have a similar anxiety, right? I have a similar anxiety. I want to be good. I want to be nice. I want to be kind. I think we all do. But the thing is that, and the unfortunate situation is that the world isn't necessarily kind. And I don't want you, I'm not I'm not to speak on it as if the world is just unkind, so you have to be ruthless and mean. That's not what I'm implying. However, to apply violent tactics in the way that I'm discussing is to remove the fear and hate and move according to what you need to do. Moving beyond your anxiety of being liked, moving beyond your anxiety of needing to be kind in order to place yourself in a more comfortable position, even if that's going to move another from a comfortable position. This can be this can be relationship dynamics. This can be, financial dynamics, but it's doing what you need to do to take care of yourself beyond your anxiety. And that's something that I wanted to address. It's a little rocky, this one, because it's a little difficult to explain, but I might talk about it a little bit more in the future. But I hope that this introduction, at least to this topic, does help. Thank you, guys.
Now, tonight's adventure into the unknown, into the world of...
I love you for it.
Love you too.